Well, hello there everyone, Krydex here. Welcome back to our Nullius playthrough. In our last episode, we worked on getting all of our hydrocarbons going, and we're going to finish that in this episode and see what else we can grow in our factory. So, that's going to be exciting. I don't have a great question, so why don't you ask me a question in the comments today? Get some discussion going. Propene, ethylene, methane, butadiene, and benzene is the top one. I'm slowly learning these. They are tricky. So, I do want to check one thing. So, this is... Let's see. I don't know what that is. We're just going to delete that. So, what I want to check is methane, specifically. Because methane can be made directly... can't it? Am I making this up? Hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong gas. I think I'm thinking of the wrong gas. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I mean, I think we actually are talking about, is it ethylene? It's the one you make in the beginning of the game to help make plastic. Yeah, it's this one, right? And then... Yeah, there it is, methane from CO2. I don't know why that isn't there. Maybe I was looking at the wrong gas. So that means ethylene and methane can both be produced directly from CO2 and hydrogen. And then ethylene can then be cracked into methane, propene, benzene. So let's do this one thing at a time. So we're going to do ingredient input. We're going to start with a certain amount of carbon dioxide, which is called 1,000. And then that can make 240 ethylene. So then we're going to copy this. Can I just paste? Yeah, I can. But this time, I want to make carbon monoxide. And with that, I want to crack that into ethylene, propene, benzene. Now that's 240 ethylene. But what if I also then turn this propene back into methane, ethylene, benzene? And then the methane can also go back to ethylene. And then benzene, I don't have benzene reforming yet, sadly. So, these are significantly different. The first one needs a lot more hydrogen. The second one needs less hydrogen. And when does oxygen come into it? Oh, that's added into methane to make ethylene. Oh my gosh, this is just breaking my head. All this to say I get a lot more ethylene if I make it directly. So here's what I want, is almost a secondary methane and ethylene producer. And then these all need to vent if they're too full. I want these all to have like a overflow valve. I think I've really screwed this up. Because we always want ethylene. So then if ethylene is less full, then we'll have another pump that chunks ethylene in here. So this, let's say if it's like less than 20K. Ethylene, it's less than 20,000. No, let's do like 50,000. And then methane, same story. And is it methane that makes ethylene or ethylene that makes methane? I think methane makes ethylene. That's right. This is so confusing. And this can use ethylene to make propene and benzene. So this should only run if propene and benzene are low. Now this does have a top-up on benzene. And propene is just directly attached to this guy making propene. So that's not really what I want. I kind of want this to be its own separate, kind of like over here. I only want to accept propene from the ethylene guy. Oh, I'm out of pipes. Let's go get some more pipes. Gotta run all the way down here. Okay, come on, little bots. Come deliver. Ooh, they're coming. Oh, that just a stream of them came out of that one. Oh yeah, there's still a lot of deliveries. Gosh, what all did I use up? I guess just 1,000,000 pipes. I'm excited to keep researching things. Titanium work storage 3. Ah, better chests. That's nice. Oh, and then that finally gets us buffer chests. Okay. I think I've got most of what I need. So, back up to this. We only want ethylene to do its, like, full cracking if we need propene, right? Because this one will make ethylene and propene. And if I still need... Well, what happens about benzene, though? We kind of want it to be a either or. I really have no idea what I'm doing. But I do know I want the... What's it called? This is the wrong one. Wait, I don't even really want this one to run. Propene cracking into methane, ethylene, and benzene. Or maybe I do. Oh, God. You know, this is where I really should just use bots. Because then I could just put logistics and barreling, and this whole thing would run smoother. Should I do that? Is that crazy? That feels crazy. Because this one... Basically, I only want this to run if ethylene is high and benzene is low. I only want this to run if propene is high and benzene is low. So we want benzene being low to be a prerequisite for either of those running. And then methane, I'll just get rid of the excess. So if propene is high, so we've got the overflow on that. We'll call it 70. And benzene is low. So we need a low benzene circuit here. So if benzene is also less than 50,000. Then this will run. And then that will deliver propene right to these guys. And then they'll do their thing. Similarly, these guys will run on ethylene if benzene is low. And ethylene is here, so we want to set this up in the same way. And actually hook this up to the same circuit condition. And then that will give ethylene over to here to make more benzene from it. Now I get methane as a byproduct of both of those. So then methane specifically, well, we'll deal with that in a second, but if that overflows, we actually want to turn it back into ethylene or burn it. So that would be like a 90% overflow. But then we also just straight need ethylene at a lower overflow. Maybe 50 to make butadiene. Actually, we'll just overflow at 10, so we always have this. So the butadiene making ethylene does not need a condition, because we always want it to happen. And the butadiene making ethylene will be here. And that's a different row of ethylene. I think this is actually going to work. So then that's butadiene making. This is ethylene using to make benzene. And this is propene using to make benzene. We get extra methane from both. So then I just need to produce some ability to use up my methane in implants. So don't know how many I'll need. How much methane do these four produce all put together? 100 per second. So if I use up methane, probably put these like on this side. If I use up methane here to make ethylene, that can use up to 200. Okay, perfect. So I'll put these here. So then this connects down. That goes up and left. Turn a corner. Actually, that needs to be pumped. And voila. Okay, so excess methane will be used up. We do need oxygen. Oxygen. Oh crap, that needs to be taken up by that space. Guess that's fine. So oxygen needs to be supplied, which is unfortunately way up here. Okay. There we go. And then, shoot, I forgot what that was. Oh, propene. This one. I actually think as long as we just have a top up, or no, this is the one that makes propene. Yeah. I think if we just have a top up on propene, that's fine. Kind of like we do here for benzene. And I can get rid of this. And what was this? If ethylene's less than 50K, this will throw into the network. Oh, this is supposed to be the ethylene from propene. Yeah, otherwise we don't want this running forever. That makes sense. Because we'll still be getting benzene from ethylene. So we want that restriction on at least one of them. So I guess I'll put it on this one. So this is the ethylene from here, which we don't want combining with this. We want that coming up to there. So that will turn a corner. Okay. So then this will only receive ethylene into here if the ethylene's less than 50K, and that's just to make sure we're connected to everything correctly. That's the ones that use propene. So if ethylene gets more full, we'll stop burning this propene recipe, which makes sense. And that's already on an overflow from propene only, which is why it's not running right now. Perfect. Okay, so that's all set up. The ethylene has... Why is that running? Ethylene's connected to here. These shouldn't be getting ethylene. Where's that coming from? Did I hook something up wrong? Clearly. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I separated that. This ethylene is the one that goes towards only the benzene making and propene making. So then it is possible propene has a big overflow. Methane, we're turning back into ethylene if we have too much of it. And then if we have too much of that, then I guess we will burn it. So that's the burn it pipe. That'll need to be like 40% pressure. Okay, and then we need to do something with the water. I could feed that. Do we even have water somewhere? I guess I could feed that all the way back into here. This is output water, right? Yeah. So we'll attach this. See if I can just go straight through. 1 to 2 pipe, up and right. Bam. Connect, and yeah, right here, corner. Bingo. Okay. So we've got the output water. Now we just need to output the, what's this called? Ethylene. And then we only want to pump that in because I'm assuming burning methane is more effective than turning it into ethylene and burning it, right? Because, I mean, it also is using oxygen, but let's at least check. So methane steam burning ratio is about 1 to 6. And ethylene steam burning ratio is about 1 to 8. So definitely better, but not so much better because you only get about 1/4 of it back. So all that to say, this is something that we only want pumping in to the ethylene track if ethylene is less than 80,000. That seems to work. Makes sense to me. And then, yeah, sweet. Okay. Unless I've made a mistake, this is actually all going to work. And so the issue right now is just the amount of carbon monoxide. Now, could I make this better by doing some of the direct methane production? Yes, I could. Am I going to worry about that? No, I'm not. because this has already been an entire episode and then some. So, the last one I haven't dealt with is styrene. What the heck is styrene made out of? I can't remember. Oh, that's just ethylene and benzene. So we can easily just produce that from the 10% overflows. So I think off the top of each one, or I guess in this case on the left, it's just like things that I need to supply with this gas will just come off the top, or hydrocarbon, or whatever we're calling it. So benzene and ethylene. And is that just in these guys? Styrene, yeah. And then propene, oxygen, ammonia to make acrylonitrile. And then there's ECH, which I'm not going to worry about quite yet. And then there's solvent, which I could do here. Because methanol, I can do methanol and solvent. And epoxy's a little trickier. I don't even know what BPA is. Oh, I could make BPA. All right, I mean, we're getting there. Because we do need like a 90% overflow on all these. Right, so if that's this one. But if I do that on all of them, then this will never stop running. I guess benzene. Benzene is the only one I don't need to. Benzene backs up. This will stop. So benzene is the only one I don't need to burn the excess. The rest of them I do. So this needs to have a 90 overflow. I need to burn that excess. This ethylene needs to have a 90 overflow. Let's fix this real quick. I want this to be around the top. So this will be the 90 overflow. So burn it, burn it. That's a burn it. Butadiene, I don't need to burn it because it only comes from one source. So it will only be made to order. Correct. And then styrene, I believe, is the same. Does styrene even come from? Styrene is also made to order, so don't need to burn that. So ethylene plus benzene. The ethylene uses here. I'm gonna put these here. This feels like a good place for what's it called? Styrene. How much styrene is that? 18 styrene. That feels like plenty. In terms of plastic, that's a ton of plastic per second. And then in terms of rubber, I don't even think the better rubber recipe uses, yeah, it doesn't even use styrene. Acrylonitrile, yeah, it doesn't, okay. So really the only thing I'll be using styrene for is this new PC/ABS plastic recipe. And so 2 is plenty here. But it uses benzene, which will go like this. And then this one is ethylene. This uses ethylene. Bam. Hitting the wrong button there. Ta-da. Benzene's not showing up though. Right, because we haven't attached the benzene usage pipe to anything. But that's going to be all the way up here. And there. So this is the 10% overflow. Throw in a pump. turn a corner. Ta-da. Okay, there we go. Styrene accomplished. Hydrogen giving back is where? I know there's one somewhere. Here. So then, let's see. How far over can we take this? So from here, this seems like a good spot. Give back the hydrogen right here. Turn a corner. Place that. This needs to go west. Gosh, this is craziness, is what this is. But, I mean, it works. Okay, there we go. So now I'm giving the hydrogen back, and now we just have styrene. Which goes to the right. That guy will go down to this one. And just to be consistent, we will still pump in from here. Bam, styrene. Feels good. Oh, and our research is done. Grid batteries, we can get accumulators. Better solar power. 200 kilowatts, that's a lot of power. What's the first solar panel? 100. Oh, okay. I mean, reasonable. Energy distribution. Ooh, we get even better power poles. Sensors. Compressed air. Priority turbines finally show up. There's all sorts of stuff. Explosives. Packaging of all the things, which is something, after looking at the Discord, we're going to want to do. Braking, which we need for robotics. Let's actually focus that. Braking, robotics. Because I really do want the cargo capacity. I want to be working towards that. That's like one of the biggest upgrades I can give to my base at this point. So we'll just work our way there slowly. I've got plenty going on, Lord knows. Okay, styrene is good. Butadiene is good. Now I think we're in the realm of we can start using bots and pumps and barrels for all this. And I can improve all this later. But now with things like nitrogen, good, you can do a compressed nitrogen barrel, which is twice as dense, because 25 is really 100 nitrogen. So compressed barrels are nice, but like, can we use compressed in all the same recipes? Probably not. So it's kind of like, do you want to compress it and then decompress it, or do you want to just fly around the normal nitrogen? I don't even really know the answer to that. I still have a couple more. Don't I have something else to make, though, that I feel like I lost track of something. Void benzene is not going to be necessary. Handle propene versus ethylene combat. I think I've handled that. By saying that if... Have I handled it? Well, this one... Oh, shucks. Lost track of a thing. Yeah, this is a top-up on methane, but that's complete. This top-up is completely useless right now. That's not doing anything. So I'll take that out. So the methane is just dumped in, but we have an overflow set up on methane. Okay, that's fine. The ethylene in propene pyrolysis is meant to provide benzene, not methane. So it is possible I run out of methane, I guess, with this system. I don't have a dedicated methane maker. So if we end up having plenty of benzene and we use up a bunch of methane, I could run out of methane. Because this is also running to make benzene. So I guess we do need to dump some benzene if methane is low and benzene is high. Otherwise, I did set up one more thing that I think was going to make this work. What is it? The propene... Where is it? Propene. The one that launches propene out only runs if benzene is low. Well, that's how that one works. So then if benzene is low, then we'll run both of these. No, I did one other condition. Where is it? Now this one is a top up. That's for... Oh, that's for propene. Top up on propene. To here. So if propene is full... Well, but that's not ever gonna be full. Oh gosh. What did I just do? Where... This one... That's what it is. So the propene one will back up on ethylene if ethylene is higher. That's what we wanted. Okay, perfect. So then the propene one won't run. So we'll only run the ethylene one here until ethylene gets low, then we'll run both, which is fine. And these both will produce benzene. So this top up is kind of pointless too. And then methane, I'm hopeful will just be overproduced rather than underproduced, because right now I don't have a method to fulfill methane if we have plenty of benzene. So that's why we could burn some benzene to just keep everything running, or we could just forget about it for now and run out of methane later and wonder why we're out of methane. These are the solutions. So then we do need combustion chambers for a couple of these things. So we need one to burn methane. Then we need one to burn ethylene? Am I ever going to need to burn ethylene? I don't think so. Because if we're backed up on ethylene and we're short on propene, then won't this guy still be running? Well, I guess if I have benzene backed up too. So we could potentially need to burn ethylene. And then benzene burning would only happen if we have extra benzene and methane is empty, which is a very specific set of things. And then this would be the ethylene burning, which would only be necessary if we're low on propene. So I think that's all fine and dandy. We'll move those over so the steam lines are kind of more free there. Never need to burn butadiene or styrene. Can you even burn them? No. You cannot. Whew. Okay, we are getting there. So then we want ammonia next, which is compressed hydrogen and nitrogen. So those produce plenty of hydrogen on their own. So I think I should set up another hydrogen setup up here. Got plenty of space, so it doesn't feel too crazy. So we'll just kind of dump this in and see what happens. Did I copy things that I shouldn't have copied? I don't think so. We just need the outfall. Okay. So then, just to regulate, I don't want extra connections flying around where there shouldn't be any. Why is that at 50%? I don't totally understand. Oh, that's just so this pipe will always have some oxygen in it. That's why that is. So then we just need a T connection here. That should give us all of the oxygen we need. And then this is going to create a hydrogen line. I guess up here. Okay. And then %, overflow there. Okay, so I need some compressors. Oh, I already have them. Why am I crafting them? I guess I'll start with a couple for each right now. Is that gonna work? What's the rate? 52. Whoa, 240. Holy cow. What do I actually need for ammonia? Ammonia needs 3:1 hydrogen to nitrogen ratio, so that's actually not quite good enough. How much ammonia do I need is the other question. Because 2 compressed nitrogen, so it's like a 1:8-ish ratio. So this would make like 400 ammonia per second. Yeah, that's probably fine. We'll just have a second one of these in case I need it, but... Okay, we're getting gassy up in here. So we got the compressors ready to go. And what else? This hydrogen is not really used in anything else that I've unlocked yet. High pressure chemistry does show up later. Oh man. If only I'd waited. Compressed nitrogen also doesn't show up anywhere else, so I can just make the ammonia here directly. Right. Okay, so I don't know, how many do I need? 4? Oh gosh, that's not even close to enough. Need a lot of these. We'll start with 7. Go up. Now this is a bit annoying. It's kind of in my way. I'm gonna delete that for a second. So then I can connect those, and then we'll just figure out how to do the volcanic gas thing a little differently. Like this. There we go. Okay, so hydrogen is still connected. Goes down, continues. Okay. It goes down, turns left. we connect like that. Alright, so there's plenty of ammonia. Hopefully. And let's just cap that off. Now, ammonia, can that be compressed? I don't think so. But ammonia is used in all sorts of things, so we want that to be barreled. Is the next step here. So then, 1 barreler, is that enough? Ammonia, that can handle 200 per second. So we actually need 2 barrelers. And we need a requester chest. So 8 barrels a second. These inserters aren't quite fast enough. Guess we'll just add a second one. And then provides 8 barrels a second. So but that we can more easily do with the power of diagonal inserters, right? Guess that doesn't work with the 2 distance diagonals. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll just do this and call it a day. It's not quite 8, but I highly doubt I will have any throughput issues. Okay, so then we definitely need to connect things up here. We need to request all sorts of barrels. It's 20 each, so that's only 400. Honestly, I think like 200 is probably what I should request. And then we need hangers to connect, which this is pretty far away from my current logistics. So we're gonna need to connect things back up. And then we'll need plenty of chargers smattered among the pathways here. We can begin seeing bots fly all over the base. Oh, substations. I should do substations. Let's do that real quick. How's science going? Well, it hasn't stopped. That's a great sign. That is a great sign. I'll be honest. I wasn't 100% sure that it was not going to stop. Substation. So we need concrete in this one. Wait, did I already do substations? No, I did not. Concrete, probably 50. Let's actually look at the number though. Yeah, 50's fine. Okay, and we're out of bots for unknown reason. So let's, is it because they're delivering to me? But why don't I drop 100 bots in real quick? Jeez. I wonder what's got them so riled up. Oh, it's probably all the buildings I built and then just got requested. Also, why are they only 1255? What just happened? Didn't I take 100? What just happened to 45 logistics spots? Something broke. Something broke. What just happened? There were exactly 1,200. Oh, did these guys get... Well, those are probably construction bots. What is even happening? Oh, because it's technically oh, it's power issues, I guess. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I think when I connect all this up, we'll be okay. Probably. Yeah, there's 1,300 again. Okay. Alright, so... Substations are now a thing that I can request. Probably 40 of. And have my poor hotbar. So many buildings. I guess I don't need a couple of these things. Okay. Back to the work we were doing. Probably have to call it an episode soon. I'll do 2 in a row here on Twitch, but it's getting about that length for YouTube. Put some lights down. Okay, there we go. So ammonia barrels are being achieved. And that's where a lot of bots are barrel delivery. But this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Okay. So we've got ammonia. And that can be checked off the list. Perfect. Alright, that feels like a great stopping point, actually. We'll work on acrylonitrile next. Acrylonitrile. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all next time